In the previous episode I showed you how popular Ratchet & Clank was in Japan. I unveiled how many units each installment had sold and how the game's popularity in the region kept dwindling with each release. After further consideration I decided to cover another favorite game of mine, the Sly Cooper franchise. So, how popular was the game in Japan? Is it still remembered? I've always been curious about how one of my favorite games fared in Japan. So I scoured every corner of the internet, piecing together all the evidence I could find to make this video. Let's find out. Sly Cooper in the TV cartoons snuck into Japan on March 6, 2003 under the alias Kaito Sly Cooper. Sly sported a fresh coat of paint with a different box art and a few regional changes. The game was also dubbed into Japanese. However, instead of pulling off a grand haste in the market, the game was met with a lukewarm reception, selling only 23,000 copies by year's end, making it one of the least selling Western games in the region. In contrast, Sly found a warmer welcome in South Korea, where the game debuted in February 2020-2003. There, it fared far better, earning a spot in the prestigious Big Hit series, a badge of honor reserved for successful titles in South Korea. It seems that Sly's charm and even prowess resonated more with Korean players than with Japanese audiences. Marketing-wise, Kaito Sly Cooper received a modest promotional push in Japan, though Sony made some rather questionable choices. The campaign included 4 TV commercials, a handful of print ads, and, most puzzling of all, some strange brand collaborations, from Boss Coffee to car manufacturer Citroën, Jeans Giant Levis, and even the Sky Paradise Orchestra Band. Personally, these tie-ins felt out of place. In retrospect, these efforts did little to boost Sly's recognition in Japan. Meanwhile, in South Korea, the marketing approach was more conventional, yet effective. The game received 2 TV commercials, print advertisements, and even a limited edition slipcover, giving Sly a better shot at stealing the spotlight. After the lukewarm reception of Kaito Sly Cooper in Japan, Sony pushed forward with its sequel, Kaito Sly Cooper 2, launching on June 16, 2005. Unfortunately, this time the response was nothing short of disastrous. The game sold so poorly that it failed to even crack Famitsu's top 500 sales chart for the year. Much like what happened with Jak 2, this marked the end of the Sly Cooper franchise in Japan. Ironically, Jak 2, despite its own struggles, still managed to outsell Sly 2 by a significant margin. But what went so horribly wrong for Sly 2 in the region? Why did it sell so horribly? There are 3 reasons. Frustrating gameplay elements. Many Japanese players disliked the original's mini-games, finding them more aggravating than enjoyable. Complaints also piled up over the game's difficulty and checkpoint system, with some feeling that Sly 1 was too challenging for a title aimed at kids and teens. Non-existent marketing. Unlike the first game, which at least received a modest push, Sony barely lifted a finger to promote Sly 2 in Japan. The game was simply released and left to fend for itself. Media blackout. With no marketing from Sony, Sly 2 remained invisible among the ocean of other games launching in 2005. Major Japanese gaming outlets like Famitsu and GameWatch overlooked it entirely. In essence, Sony shot themselves in the foot. Meanwhile, Sly 2 found a much warmer reception in South Korea, once again earning a Big Hit series label. While Korea embraced Sly's adventures, Japan turned its back on him entirely. In a last-ditch effort to give Sly 2 a fighting chance in Japan, a charming, region-exclusive manga titled Sly Cooper Phantom Thief was created. Illustrated by mangaka Shuji Imaki, the series ran in Comic Boom from January to September 2005. Unlike the game's cel-shaded art style, the manga embraced a more light-hearted, cutesy aesthetic, with Sly and his band of thieves taking center stage in yet another fantastic adventure. But despite this attempt to appeal to the Japanese audience, it wasn't enough to turn the tide for Sly 2 in the region. With Sly's two disastrous performances in Japan, Sony decided to forego releasing Sly 3 in the region altogether. However, South Korea once again proved it to be a safe haven for the franchise. To everyone's surprise, Sly 3 was well received, earning yet another big hit series label. This marked 3 consecutive hits for Sly in South Korea, solidifying his status as a beloved character in the region. An ironic contrast to his fate in Japan, where he had all but vanished into the shadows. It took Sony 5 years to finally bring Sly 3 to Japan, bundled within the Sly Cooper collection, which launched on January 27, 2011. However, history repeated itself. Sly's return to Japan was met with apathy, selling almost 5,000 copies by the end of the year. Even with solid reviews from Famitsu, 4Gamer, and other Japanese outlets, the message was clear. Japan simply wasn't interested in Sly or his adventures. Meanwhile, Sony continued to support the franchise in South Korea, where Sly Cooper Thieves in Time became the final chapter in the series. By now, the reality couldn't be clearer. Japan had shut the door on Sly and it wasn't opening anytime soon, but in South Korea, he wasn't just another mascot, he was a legend, a true phantom thief who had stolen the heart of an entire nation.